Welcome back to your Caribou Data Science Channel, America. This is the evening of October 26, 2021. A big shout out to the 5 people who watched this video yesterday, and especially the 3 younger folks who watched it. I do have one favor and one favor only to ask you today. If you watch the video and you find it helpful, click on that like button. That's the only thing that's the only thing I'm asking today. Click on that like button next to the video, okay? Thanks so much. Let's get on with the show. One of the curious things about COVID-19 is that is the way it's being counted. Diseases like cancer and heart disease are measured 1 year at a time. So every January 1st, the numbers are set back to zero. But yet, for some reason, with COVID-19, we're counting cases and deaths from the very first case and the very first death. Okay, it's kind of interesting. Anyway, so as let's see, since January of 2020, we've had 45.5 million cases. Since the very end of February 2020, I mean like February 29th because it was a leap year, we've had 737,342 deaths. Currently, the U.S. is averaging 709,000, 70,945 cases per day, which that projects out to over the next 12 months of 25.8 million or 25.9 million. Okay, we're currently averaging 1,218 deaths per day. Okay, which works out to the next 12 months is 444,000 plus deaths if nothing changes. And what you can see here, familiar pattern, right? A big spike back in the winter, over 300,000 deaths, climbing all the way back down to here. And then we had in late July, we had this big spike back up here, followed by another declining pattern here. Okay, now question, is this it for the fall? Are we going to see another spike back over here in October? Here's the question. People like Dan Bongino keep railing about this subject and that subject. Suppose the people don't care about their checking accounts being looked at. Suppose most people don't have a problem with this concept of sovereignty of the body. Sovereignty of the body. You know what? We're also called to be one nation under God. Well, the world that Dan Bongino is not one nation under God. It's 326 million people under God, and even that, most of those aren't even under God. Okay, so somewhere along the way, we've lost this sense of unity. We lost this sense of I'm not the most important person in America today. Okay, of course, people like Dan Bongino, in my opinion, Dan Bongino doesn't represent me, but neither does Nancy Pelosi or Geraldo Rivera or CNN. None of these organizations are on the fringe of society because both Dan Bongino and Geraldo Rivera and CNN, they all represent the fringes of society. The vast majority of the people don't care what Dan Bongino or CNN says, okay? Because there's so little trust among the American people. Why should we trust Dan Bongino? He's just another talking head, okay? See, the trouble is, the vast majority, it's like two sides of the same coin. The actual sides of the coin are very thin. The nickel coating is very thin on the sides, and that's what Dan Bongino is, the nickel coating on a nickel. 99.9% of the people in the U.S. don't listen to Dan Bongino and don't listen to CNN, don't listen to Geraldo Rivera, don't listen to Nancy Pelosi. They just don't care anymore. Okay. Yeah, gas price can go up to a dollar, up to $4 by the end of the year. Most people will complain about it, but what are we going to do? We can't certainly lose sleep over something we have no control of. And quite honestly, I'm not sure the Democratic Party is ever going to allow the Republicans to win another election. If they did this, if they cheated on this election, they'll cheat on the next one also. So how do you beat a cheater? Okay, if the Supreme Court isn't going to uphold the Constitution, then what hope is there? Anyway, let's continue on here. These are deaths, deadly deaths again. Long declining pattern here. Just a little note about deaths. We know that because of the miscounts in Ohio's deaths, we know that the fourth quarter of 2020 was undercounted by 4,000, roughly 4,000, and the first quarter of 2021 was overcounted by close to 4,000. Okay, so this number here is too high. All right. But anyway, a long declining pattern down to mid-July. Then we had a spike back up here, and then a declining pattern over here. Okay. Now, if you look here, what you can see is 2021 cases have passed 2020 cases. But as you can see back up here, we did have a long declining pattern of spring. Unfortunately, this little bump here kind of ruined the year for us. Okay, it really did. Our numbers are good down in July, and whatever caused this, whether it was the Delta variant or whatever it was, uh, okay, so what you see here is this. You see something? Okay, so here you can see the cases have already passed there, but a lot of these cases probably come from that last bump, which is really unfortunate. Okay, we passed 21 deaths also. Now here's the thing: this bump here pretty much ruined our whole year. Let's just be honest about it. The question is, we still have two. So over here, we still have 2 months to go. Are the numbers going to continue to decline through the winter? It's possible. It could very easily. Numbers can very easily. This could be the spike. Numbers could begin to decline all the way back down to spring and into summer. You know, we saw the one prediction, right? The guy from what was that again? It was the leader of it was the CEO of Moderna. Is that who it was? Moderna's CEO predicts end of COVID-19 pandemic within a year. Of course, I read the article and I don't think he actually you know defines an end. I mean, if the deaths drop to the numbers of flu vaccine, does that count as an end? I mean, the obvious question is why is it going to end? Okay, if the vaccines don't keep you from getting the COVID-19, then how can the disease end? Deaths, I suppose, it could decline, but anyway, it's a little bit of a rant there. Anyway, sorry about that, but anyway, here you go. This long declining pattern here. Okay, so here you come this climb back up to here. Take a look at deaths, same situation. Nice declining pattern going into the summer, then bang, we got hit with this here again, with this increase in deaths again. Fourth quarter numbers, well, you can see here that unfortunately the third quarter 2021 was the quarter with the third most cases so far, and the same thing with deaths. The third quarter deaths for 2021 were the third highest deaths so far. Now we can just zoom in here a little bit. So as you can see here, January the 8th, the U.S. spiked out at 303,008 cases for a single day before having this big, long declining pattern down to here, down to around 29,422 cases down here. And then it climbed back up. Then it climbed back up to, on September 7th, to 277,028 cases before falling back down to on October 25th, falling back down to 102,898 cases, with an average of 78,708 cases. Now, what about deaths? Okay, as you can see here, deaths spiked on January 20th at 4,441 deaths before falling down back down to on October 25th to 1,401 deaths. That's a pretty healthy drop. Okay, an average deaths of 1,418 deaths. Okay, now if you look at weekly case, you can see this pattern, this long declining pattern here. Then a big spike up here in July, July through August, maybe October, July through September, maybe. Then a very sharp. Then we had a very sharp decline again in cases at right almost immediately after that. Same thing here, all the way down to here. So anyway, you can see this long declining pattern here in terms of COVID-19 deaths, and an increase in July again. The question is this Delta? Was this the Delta variant? Were these people vaccinated? What about cases? Well, as the saying goes, any port in a storm. So I'm going to say that, well, this is the second month in a row when we had a decline in COVID-19 cases, right? September below August and October below September. Okay, and you can see that well, for the this is this. So you can see that September or October, no, September cases, right? July, August, September, October. So right now, October's cases is below September's cases. The question is, for every 100,000 people in the U.S., how many people have COVID-19 right now? Well, roughly somewhere between, say, 20 and 25 people out of 100,000 have COVID-19 right now. Pretty low numbers, considering what you see on the news media. What about the number of people who've died per 100,000 COVID-19? Well, that number is a little more trickier because this line right here is one half of one person. Okay, so somewhere between one quarter and one half of a person is dying from COVID-19 right now out of 100,000 people. All right. Okay. Okay, America, that does take care of your report for today. Again, one favor to ask, click on that like button next to the video if you watch the video today, okay? Thanks so much, America. We'll see you tomorrow with an updated report.